lately because I don't know if you know one of Tarantino's main editors passed away recently,
No,
right?
no.
And so a lot of people think that might have contributed to the thing in Django Unchained, but
What happened?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Oh, do you mean with Django Unchained?
Yeah, what's wrong
it
with
got a little out of hand with
How so?
with the editing. It was a little too long.
Oh, okay.
The just a little too long, but they had the same trouble with the RZA and Man with the Iron Fist. But Peter Jackson, it was edited very, very, very well.
And you didn't think it was too long, like a 9-hour movie?
No, I thought it was the perfect length.
Because here's the thing: it's the Return of the King was 3.5 hours was the theatrical runtime or something approaching that. But it never felt really long. I know people are like, it had 4 endings, it had 5 endings. Like, yeah, but it needed to have all of those endings just because there were so many different plot points brought up. You needed to have the resolution of you needed to see what happened to how Frodo and Sam got off the mountain. You need to see what happened to Aragorn and the rest of the party. You needed to see them going back to the Shire, and then you need to see Frodo leaving into the Grey Havens, and then you have to see finally what happens to people like the Sam and the hobbits after Frodo leaves, and that's kind of like the very end of their adventure.
Yeah, they didn't do the Scour of the Shire, but they just went back to the Shire and kind of had it unchanged, which was a big... I think that makes, like, ringers sort of upset that they did cut that out, but what I do think, like, the scriptwriters for Lord of the Rings were incredible, and as you were saying earlier, like, that Tolkien he was more of a world builder than a writer. He was a linguist first, right? Like, he invented, like, the Elven languages and then decided to write a story and a history of these people, and he kind of, like, invented their culture, and, yeah, he wasn't a good writer. Like, he couldn't figure out how to put the Frodo, Sam, Smeagol scenes in with the, the trio scenes.
In Two Towers.
In Two Towers, and when they're split, like, he wrote, like, so many drafts, and he's like, oh, whatever about that, we're just gonna split it. Like, he tried to put in Arwen Aragorn's romance, but couldn't figure out how to weave it into the stories, he just stuck it in the appendix. The appendixes are actually, I feel, better than the book, because they're written like a resource, like text, and that's what he's really good at. But the scriptwriters, I think, like, that really hats off to them because they analyzed everything, like every decision that they made, they really strongly rationalized. Like, I know you have a bit of an issue with Tom Bombadil in the books, but they did cut him out because yes, it's kind of a stupid side story and it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, but they give all of his lines to Treebeard, and it works better because Treebeard like is kind of essential to the plot of Two Towers.
All his lines, they do like kind of give a shout out to him, which to kind of appease people, I suppose.
I hope the Dairy D. No, we don't need that, Tom Bombadil. You're completely useless.
They had a ton of shout outs in The Hobbit.
Yeah,
shout outs galore. It was unbelievable.
I was just reading because I've always watched the extended cut. Like I maybe seen the theatrical version once, and that was mainly just because I wanted to watch the special features, which are actually pretty good on the theatrical cut version of the DVDs. They do a lot of where they pick the scenes to film. It's cool, but I'm not like I don't really know it. But I was reading that they cut out the scene. Oh my god, I don't remember now. What did you just say, Rory?
I said there were a lot of shout outs in The Hobbit.
Oh, apparently they cut the scene where they see Bilbo's trolls in the Fellowship of the Ring in the theatrical release.
Oh yeah.
But they replicated that perfectly for The Hobbit. So
yeah, they because I don't know. There's just so much. This movie probably took so much like time to just not even like the film. I'm not talking about filming, but just to get off the ground and going. Because
no studio would accept it for the first long time.
Yeah, because they were like, no, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's it really does seem too ambitious.
Yeah, Tolkien himself said it was a movie that you could never make a film for.
Yeah, and keep in mind before this, the only movie versions of Lord of the Rings that had ever been made were the cartoon versions, which were mixed reception at best. Let's put it like that. There were some good things about it, but. Yeah,
but I mean, and it was tough because of course they were going to settle for not making 3 movies, right?
Yeah,
like, that was the deal.
They were only
going to
do one.
One or two was like were their options.
Pitched it that he just wanted to do it, and he was like, kind of talking to the studio, like he's like, I would love to do 3 movies, but I can do it in 1 or 2, and the producer was like, or the studio that picked it up was like, do 3, like you can do 3 if you think you can do 3, do 3, and he was like. Never thought that anyone would give him, the ability to do that. And
if that studio hadn't accepted, the movie wouldn't have been made. That was the last studio on the list.
Yeah.
Which is, it's good because it's a good movie. I'm glad they made it.
You always get stories like that, like J.K. Rowling went to 17 publishers for Harry Potter, and they all rejected her, and then the last one was like, yeah, we'll publish it, we'll take a shot. Biggest selling book series ever.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
As well,
Led Zeppelin, another one.
Exactly. The Beatles. I remember, like, there was that legendary quote from the guy from like Decca Records.
Yeah,
it was like, we're not going to accept the Beatles because we think guitar music is on the way out. Wrong again, Bob.
I think the publishers from Harry Potter and the guys who like rejected the Beatles just have a club now, and they all just stand in a circle and kick themselves.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the Beatles wanted to film some sort of music video or movie in which each member of the Beatles was a hobbit.
Yep.
And
That's true.
Tolkien was like, absolutely not.
no?
Yeah. No way. That would not fly.
But on the topic of J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, I do always, like, every time, someone talks about movies, I think they're both, like, kind of I don't know if it's right to say they're, like, defining sort of trilogies for people, like, our age. Like, I mean, most people have seen Lord of the Rings, most people have grown up with Harry Potter. But I think, like, if you look at how the Harry Potter movies were produced and, like, them as a unit and Lord of the Rings, like, I think Harry Potter might be, like, one of the worst adaptations of a book I've seen.
Well, yeah, because Lord of the Rings was filmed. Was it all at one time, Rory, or
all at one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that would be impossible because they age 7 years, but it just...
Yeah, but I mean, like, but what I mean by that is Harry Potter, the movies, they went through, like, 8 directors and, like, I don't know, a lot of production, behind-the-scene productions were changing, but with Lord of the Rings, you had a consistent cast and a consistent, like, just production crew and a persistent director and writers and things like that. So it just felt like a more cohesive product, I guess.
You could see everything working, like... In Harry Potter, the movies were certainly differed in quality, sort of vastly, I think we could say. But I mean, like, I didn't look at any of the Harry Potter movies be like, oh, that is fantastic direction.
No, I was just like, oh, cool, the book that I read is now on screen in a series of scenes.
Yeah, some guy sat back and pulled a Spielberg and sat back and watched the movie.
But I think with Harry Potter, like, they... especially in the last one, which I've only seen once now, but, like, they seem to want to... They were afraid to cut anything out, and I think with Lord of the Rings, the smart thing they do was they cut out, like, characters that are developed more fully in the books and change the plot, and they do, like, they really pick and choose what they need to keep, and it was just...
Like Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think in Harry Potter, they might throw him in, like, in a scene, and it would just waste time and be sort of, disjointed, but Lord of the Rings was just expertly written, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take our next break now.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah, can we talk, before we, when we come back, do you want to talk about how, it changed filmmaking? Like, just how, like, a lot of people have adapted stuff from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hi, this is Terry Parsons.
And I'm Craig Hilliard.
And Steve is not here right now.
Because he's been kidnapped by aliens.
But if you'd like to hear the best in blues...
From the Mississippi Delta...
to the Great White North...
tune into the Blind Lemon Blues.
Every Monday, 9 to 11 p.m.
on 93.5 CHMR FM.
Hello, I am a proud soccer mom seeking your support for our provincial under-15 boys team, who will be representing our province at the Atlantic Championships this June in Moncton, New Brunswick. The boys are hosting a goods bingo at Knights of Columbus, St. Clair Avenue on Thursday, April 25th. Doors open at 7 p.m., bingo at 7:30. Tickets are $10. If you would like to pre-purchase tickets, donate a prize, or even sponsor a player on his journey, contact Ruth at 739-8218 or ruth.godden7@hotmail.ca. Come out for a chance to win hundreds of dollars in great prizes. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Astronautilus and you're listening to CHMR 93.5, your only alternative.
And we are back on the Aperture 93.5 CHMR FM. This is a weekly hour-long discussion of all topics geek culture. I'm Rory DC.
I'm Adam, the Porge Knight.
Yo, I'm Katie Black.
And today we are talking about Lord of the Rings.
The movies, specifically.
The movies, and we're not... Yeah, we're... Adam, you start, because you had the topic for the next little section here.
Well, I really wanted to talk about how Lord of the Rings seemed to change movies, or the way they were made. Because it seemed like after Lord of the Rings came out, a lot of people tried to jump on that bandwagon. Like, you saw movies like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is the... ironically enough, was based off the book that Tolkien's friend... C.S. Lewis wrote. They were actually really good friends until they had a bit of a falling out over what I don't know.
Differences.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's probably it too. Yeah.
And but yeah, so you just see, and in the trailer for like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie, it's trying so hard to be like Lord of the Rings. You can almost hear the film straining with the effort.